Hey, Happy New Year, John.
I'm back.
Now the recording's in
This
progress.
is me. Good.
I'd suggest you get started.
Yeah, let me get over there. All right. Okay, here we are, brand new year. How's
Okay,
everybody
I'm going
doing?
to mute. I'm going to mute myself and
Okay.
on low.
And yes, it's me. I'm back. I took a little trip over the holidays in my kitchen and broke my hip. So I don't know if you guys all heard about that. That's why I had to cancel the other class in end of November. And I spent all of December healing up. My nurse Patty helped me through that, and here I am. So, the lesson here is don't break your hip. It's no fun. So
I already know that. Did that.
yeah. But I have to say, without taking too much time out of the class, is that I got excellent health care, and I've got a big support system in place, including you guys keeping me, checking on me and stuff. So I do appreciate everybody here and Patty and everybody who helped me through this. And I feel much better, and I'm raring to go this year. So thank you. And this class, by the way, is kind of a year-end wrap-up. It's supposed to be the end of November, December. So I'm calling this the 2023 wrap-up class. You might see that when I publish the notes. So that's just for the year-end. And then I have another class end of this month for January. I think we'll be kind of back on schedule again. So thank you, Barbara, for being patient with me. And that's about all I have to say on that piece. So all right. Anybody have any announcements or anything they want to say before we kick in here? Is everybody okay? Well, all right then. So the first news item that I have for you, excuse me, is you should be on iOS 17.2.1. That should be the current version on your iPhone. 17.3 should be coming out anytime now, but it's not a minor version update or update. It's a little more major, so it may have some bugs in it, but it probably should be safe to upgrade when it comes out. And like I've said in the past, the other ones you have to worry about is when 17 changes to 18. Those are the guys that you do not want to put on right away. So all right, and I think there've been some reported bugs in 17.2.1 relative to Siri and some other things that I've heard in the field. I've noticed some little quirky behaviors, but nothing that's a showstopper for me. But Barbara is telling me and some others that they are working on Siri on a few fronts to get her back to what she was doing before on a few things. So hopefully that'll get all fixed up and ready to go. So.
Yeah, right now Siri does not answer when you say open website, it goes to look on the internet type thing. And she also will not answer always to hey Siri. Sometimes she comes in and says hello there. And then another thing she's not doing is she is not I used to use her to identify songs, and she's not doing that either. So those are the three things I reported to Apple, and they had already had 500 complaints on those items.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. If you guys don't have that number, the disability line, I'll put it in the notes again. And if you have trouble that you can't fix or you can't get a hold of anybody who might be able to help, they are always a good resource. They're very patient, and they will check your phone out if you give them permission, and they'll ask you to do things. And usually they can nail down what the problem is or tell you that it is a problem and they're fixing it. So I think I highly recommend using them. And again, I will publish that in the notes. It'll be the disability number for Apple, accessibility, whatever. Okay. All right, so the second guy on my list is You remember last year when we talked about the Vision Pro, the goggle headset that they were releasing in the middle of the year, they were showing it off. That's actually going to be available for purchase February 2nd, and pre-orders are going to be in about a week and a half. So if you got like 4,000 plus tax running around, you could buy one of those and wear it. So, did somebody say something? I'm sorry, I missed something here.
Keep
Okay.
going.
All right. And the last thing that I have, this is actually bigger than it sounds, is Apple is finally going to communicate with the Android world with much more encryption and security. Without getting into all of the terminology, they're going to support a protocol for text messaging called RCS. That stands for, what does it stand for? Rich Communication Service. And what that means in English is that right now when you send stuff to another iPhone user, you can send it on an encrypted thing. You can send full images and you can see if they're typing back to you and all this good stuff. Those are all features of iMessage, which is really Apple's way of doing it. But Apple's going to open up this RCS thing so that if you have Android friends, people with Android phones, they can also participate in an encrypted conversation and all the other stuff that comes with messaging. In a nutshell, it's not going to affect us too much. It's going to affect everybody but us, the Android users out there in the world. So we'll just keep on trucking like we always have. I just want to let you know that your people with Android phones can now talk to you with security and with all the features that iMessage has for all of us who have had it for many, many, many years. Okay, and that's all I have for news, unless somebody has something else to mention. That's kind of what I have. Oh yeah, the other thing too, I don't have it on my notes, but I just heard about it today. So last year, about this time of year, I mentioned that Apple became like the biggest company value-wise in the world at $3 trillion. And financial experts estimate that this year, if they're on track with everything, they should eclipse the 4 trillion mark by the end of the year, which is huge. It's also the 40th anniversary of the very first Mac computer at the Super Bowl in 1984. And it's kind of ironic that back then they were against IBM, the big bad company, and now they're the biggest company in the world. So there's a little irony there, but anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting to mention. So 40 years for their desktop computer, their graphical desktop computer. So, interesting.
Seems like
What's that?
seems like yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It goes by pretty fast. Yeah.
Oh
When
my goodness.
It's funny to think that that old Mac for 40 years ago evolved into the phone in your hands. And it took about 30 years, 25, 30 years for that to happen. So I think it's pretty amazing, you know. So yeah, so good on Apple. They've been doing some really cool stuff.
Just think of the things that could be accomplished if we wouldn't have to spend so much time, energy, and brain power on war.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. So yeah. All right. If there's no questions on news, I'm going to go over to this other segment that I talk about. It's called Emerging Technologies. And there's only one item here, and it has to do with this upcoming release of iOS 17.3. And what they're going to have in it is they're going to have this this feature. What do they call it? It's called stolen device protection. And you're going, what does that mean? So what happens is that you can put it into stolen device protection mode. And what it does, and it does a lot of things, but let me just tell you one or two because it's not out yet, so we haven't tested it. So if your device is stolen, and let's say they even got your passcode to get in and do things, if you report it stolen right away, or you set that setting that it's stolen somehow, you can then the person that has the phone cannot even put the passcode in, even if it's correct. They have to be at your place, a known safe place to put it in for it to work. So it's just another level of protection. If somebody lifts your phone and you flip this status on via the cloud or you tell Apple, they will not be able to put in your passcode, even if they have it. It'll still not work for them. So it just renders your phone useless to whoever has it. But again, this requires that you have security in place. You have a passcode, and then of course with a passcode you need Face ID or the thumbprint stuff, Touch ID. So just keep that in mind when it comes out. That might be something that you want to be aware of if anything happens. I'm always giving you ideas about security and what to do if your phone's lost or stolen. So just to ease your mind that there are recourses here. And you may not get your phone back, but then they won't be able to affect anything that you have on your phone, especially if it's a subscription to something, or if you're doing banking on your phone, which is very common nowadays. You want to be sure that all that stuff is very well protected. So, and the banking apps, by the way, if you're interested, they require biometric, authentication before you can even open the app. So even if they take your phone and you're doing your banking, like Wells Fargo, you can't even get in the app without doing Face ID or something. So the guys couldn't even get into it. But if they have your passcode and you have this thing on, it'll pretty much lock it down completely where they can't do anything, which is a really good thing, I think. Anyway, I'm going long-winded on that, but that's just something to look forward to in the next version. So any questions on that? All right. You guys are starting off quiet this year.
Danny, I have a question.
Hi, Larry. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm well. Good to hear from you. Yeah, go ahead. What's going on?
I was trying to figure out, would that be like the 2040 or 2024 version of the Apple? Would it affect the SE also?
Yes, when the next SE comes out, and I think they're going to announce it. I haven't heard for sure. Yes, it'll have all of that. And the SE, by the way, will no longer have the button. It'll look more like an
Yes.
iPhone 10. You'll have to use a Face ID for that one. So, yes,
Thank
the
you.
last SE was the last one with the button, the third
Home button.
generation.
Home button.
Home button, yes, sorry. All right. So my first topic today is seeing AI. So let me set this up properly because it's real important. I think this is going to be one of the most important things that I've done in a while. Okay. So when you go to a restaurant right now and you want to order something, how do you guys do it? What is it that you do? Do you have someone read you the menu? Do you get your magnifier out? Do you have voiceover talking in a loud environment? Well, what is it that you do to get to the menu? And I'm asking that anybody wants to answer. I'll answer myself. I use the magnifier because I still have enough vision to use it, but it's torturous.
Maggie, I turn on the thing and reads the menu to me.
Okay. So what I do when I do this is, in the past, I put in an earbud in one ear, and then of course the other ear is open so I can hear what's around me. And then I can hear what the phone is saying clearly into one ear. Now, if you have hearing aids, and some of us do, you might want to figure out a way to put the earbud in there so it works with the hearing aid. Or if you have Bluetooth on your hearing aids, you can actually direct into your hearing aids and have the phone speak there. And you should set it up to where you can hear your surroundings so you're not isolated in the menu in your phone, and the people around you can still talk to them. So what I propose doing today is Seeing AI has added funny AI part to it, even though AI is part of its name. And the way what you do is you take a menu and you go into document mode, right? And then you have it capture it in document mode. And when it does that, it brings up all the text into a screen. And then you can ask it questions about the menu, which is amazing. So I'm going to demo that now. Okay. I have a menu from, I don't know where it's from, Gaslight, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Gaslight menu. Okay. I hope no one from Gaslight is missing a menu and seeing me show the evidence that I have it right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to turn up Siri so you guys can hear it. Okay. So let me do that first. Hang on just a second. All right, so let me bring the volume up.
Overeats. 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 Overeats.
That should be loud enough. Okay. So when you're in the restaurant, the first thing you should do, and I'm not going to do that here because I'm just speaking to you through this Zoom thing. So what you would do is you would plug in your device, your earbud, or you would make sure that your hearing devices are connected to your phone so you can hear what your phone's saying. Because typically in a restaurant, it's loud or it's real inconvenient to do this with a bunch of people around talking. So you need to be able to isolate what it's saying so you can hear it. And no one else needs to hear it anyway. So this is so the first thing you do is you do that. Second thing you do is you're going to open up Seeing AI. So I'm going to do that now. Siri? Open Seeing AI.
Audio Vol. ESC. Tab.
Yeah, be quiet.
Allow VAUs.
It's reading
Allow
everything.
VAU.
Sorry. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bottom where the channel bar switcher thinger is, and I'm going to switch it to document mode. And you do that by swiping up or swiping down. Okay. So I'm going to go down there. It's at the very bottom. Okay. I'm going to feel around, find it.
Channel. Short text. Adjustable.
So we
Swipe
went,
up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
yeah, what she said. Okay, here we go.
Document.
So you go over it, put it over the document,
Top and right edge is not visible.
raise it up until everything's visible.
Top edge not visible. Hold steady. Processing. Cancel. Button. Back. Button.
Okay, so this is what it's always done. If I wanted to hear what's on the menu just by perusing the text that it found, yeah, I could do that too. I would just put my finger on it.
The Gaslight Theater. Grandma Tony's Pizza Small 10. Grandma Tony's Everything Pizza. Sausage.
But you know, this just doesn't get us any further along. What if I want to find out if it has something on the menu and what the prices are? I don't want to have to hear this whole thing. This is where the AI comes in. And there's a button at the bottom of the screen. And let me find it so you can hear what it says.
Ask Seeing AI. Button.
Ask Seeing AI button. I'm going to do that.
Ask Seeing text field is editing.
So it brings up like a little chat interface. And what you want to do is you want to dictate what you're looking for on the menu in that little field and then hit send. And then it sends it to the AI guy and then AI will answer. So I'm going to ask it about, I don't know, salads. Let's see if there's any salads on this menu. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to dictate that in. Are there any salads on the menu?
Inserted. Are there any salads on the menu? Send. Button. Are there any salads on the menu? Yes, there are salads on the menu. The options include a chef salad for $9.99, a Caesar salad for $8.99, a grilled chicken salad for $9.99, and a dinner salad with a small size for $3.29 and a large size for $6.49. You can also add chicken to any salad for an additional $1. The salad dressing choices include ranch, Italian, 1000 Island, French, honey mustard, blue cheese, Caesar, oil and vinegar, fat-free ranch, and fat-free Italian.
Not bad, huh? So that told me about every salad that's on there, the prices and the options. Let's say I don't want a salad. Let's say I'm just looking for something else. Like I'm in the mood for, what's at the Gaslight? Lobster. Let's see if I ask it for lobster. Let's see what it does. Okay. So I'm going to double tap with 2 fingers and ask for lobster.
Good luck.
Any
Good luck.
lobster on the menu?
Inserted any lobster on the menu?
So I'm gonna hit send. You always gotta hit send after you dictate, by the way. And Seeing AI automatically knows that, so it puts you right on the send button after you dictate. I'm just gonna double tap on it.
Any lobster on the menu? No, the document does not list lobster as an available item on the menu.
Okay. So when you go to a restaurant, you kind of know what you want. You know, if you want a protein, you want a chicken, meat, blah, 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 blah. So you can ask it general questions like that, and it'll narrow it down for you. Let's say, instead of healthy eating like a salad, I want to eat a hot dog or something. So let me see if there's any hot dogs on the menu. I know there is. That's why I'm asking. Okay, so I'm going to do it. Any hot dogs on the menu?
Inserted any hot dogs on the menu? Any hot dogs on the menu? Yes, the document mentions that there are hot dogs on the menu. There is a kid's hot dog and fries option priced at $5.99 and a hot dog and fries under the temptation section priced at $8.99.
There you go. And you can ask it all kinds of questions that you can come up with, like,
Wow. How
does
about,
this come with
Maddie,
that, or
how
what's that?
about gluten? Ask it if there's any gluten-free or something like that.
I haven't tried that, so it may not work, but let's try it. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you can ask it, and it'll try to flush that information out for you. So that's a good question, Patty. Let me try that. Are there any gluten-free options?
Inserted, are there any gluten-free options? Send, dimmed. Yes, there are gluten-free options available. The document mentions that for pizzas, there is a gluten-free crust option available for small and medium sizes.
I didn't know that.
Cool.
So I didn't practice that before this, so this is a brand new thing for me. So, this is a very, very good tool to have on your phone. It's called Seeing AI. Take it with you, practice. There's no need to ask anybody to do it for you. This will do it for you. And you're using your hard-earned money that you invested into this little computer. It's going to do a lot of stuff for you. So get Seeing AI and figure out a way to isolate your audio and just figure out the questions you want to ask about the menu. So I thought that was pretty good. And now you can use Be My Eyes and Be My Eyes AI, okay? Be My Eyes is good because if it's not reading the menu properly for whatever reason, you can have a volunteer come on, and that's not available in the Seeing AI thing. But the bad part about the Be My Eyes AI is that when you're trying to capture the menu, it doesn't tell you if you got all the corners in view. You gotta be a photographer and be able to use your vision. Seeing AI doesn't require that. It tells you when the document is completely in view, and it snaps it, and then you can ask questions about it. So I thought that was really interesting that you guys might like to try that out. I'd recommend getting both apps on your phone and practicing before you go to a restaurant. Do it as a challenge. I think it'll be really interesting what it'll do for you. So thanks to
Can you go-
AI. Oh, go ahead,
Can you
sorry.
go through the steps again, Manny?
Yes, okay. I'll put the phone down and just talk. So, okay.
Dictate.
Oops, let me,
Double tap to start dictation.
yeah. So the first thing you do, before you get to the restaurant, you need to make sure you get Seeing AI on your phone. Open it up, go through all the channels, and then it's going to give you some nag screen saying document mode does this and that. Okay, and then tap on that, get all those out of the way so that the program just runs when you get there. Take something with you that will isolate the output of your phone, whether it be a earbud or connection to Bluetooth in your hearing aids or whatever it is. Launch Seeing AI, right? That's 3. And then go down to the bottom, step 4, switch it to document mode, and then hover it over the menu. And it's going to tell you no edges visible. And what that means is that you need to bring the phone up higher over the document. Then it'll say maybe top and left is not visible. So you bring it up a little bit higher and more to the left. So that left corner will get in. And as soon as all corners are visible, it'll say hold steady. It'll snap the picture. And then all the text from the menu will be there for you to just peruse like in the old days. But what's going on today is that at the very bottom, you have ask Seeing AI or Ask AI or whatever it's called. You double tap on that, then you get a chat window up, and you dictate your question in there. 2-finger double tap, and you say, "Are there any salads on the menu?" And then you hit send, and then it'll give you those responses that you heard right now when I did that. So nobody has any excuses about not reading the menu anymore. So just letting you know, technology is here and it's working for us. So I really urge you to take advantage of it if you can. If you don't want to, that's okay. But I'm saying it's there if you want it. And it's not limited to just menus. Menus are just one thing. Any kind of document. I imagine you can have it look at your electric bill, same thing, and say, what is my amount due? And it'll say, oh, your amount due is, or what's my previous balance? And it'll say that too. This works universally with all documents. I just tried it on a menu because I figured this would be something that everybody has problems with. And I thought it would be a good way to demo this out. So,
Cool.
any
Manny, 2
questions?
questions.
Manny, are you gonna go over some of the other channels and stuff?
You know, we could, yeah, let's do that.
Let's go over that really quickly, and then are you gonna do Be My Eye?
We could try Be My Eyes next on the same menu and see what we get. But it'd probably do the same thing, but let's try it. I mean, you guys kind of know what you heard. Let's see how Be My Eyes compares to it. Okay, and then we'll go over some of the other functions that Barbara mentioned too. So
7:06 p.m.
all right, let me get in here.
Seeing AI calendar Tuesday.
All right, let me close Seeing AI.
Apps seeing a closing seeing AI.
Okay, Siri, oops.
Mail. Google Voice.
Okay, Siri, open Be My Eyes.
Starting take picture button.
So this one, it's really cool because it opens up right into the camera. You don't have to select document mode and all that craziness. You can just go right into it. I think we have to be sure at the bottom that we're on the AI piece. So let me verify that. I think that's the only caveat.
And that's on the second tab on the left side of the bottom.
Thank you, Barbara. Let me check that. You're right. Let me see here. What do we got?
Tab bar. Get support. Tab 1 of 5.
So it's not get support.
Selected. Be My AI. Tab 2 of 5.
So the tab's called Be My AI.
Number 2.
Tab number 2. And what I have is a viewfinder. And then I have a button down here that says, what does it say?
Take picture button.
Take picture. Now the problem is when I put this app over the menu, it doesn't tell me if I'm capturing all the menu or a piece of it. So if I do this as a completely blind person, I may or may not get the menu, the full thing. I'm just going to guesstimate where Seeing AI was and try it. I'm not looking at the phone or the viewfinder to see if it's all in there, but I'm just going to try it and see if I can.
All you have to do is stand up a little higher and take the picture again.
I think you're right. I'm going to stand up,
It's
so
real
I might be
simple.
out of view for a second here. Hang on. Let's see what happens when I do that. Okay, I'm going to take the picture.
Take picture. Take picture. Analyzing picture. Please wait.
It's playing some kind of music. I don't know what it is.
The image shows a menu from the Gaslight Theater. It is divided into several sections with various food items listed under each. The sections visible are. And
then if I keep swiping, it'll keep telling me. And let me know if I need to stop, because this could be very verbose, but at least I'll let you hear a little bit of it at least.
Grandma Tony's Pizza. Small $14, medium $17, large $20. Toppings, pepperoni, sausage, ham, mushrooms, green peppers, onions, black olive.
Now notice it didn't say pizza there. It just said toppings. Now we know it's pizza because, you know, we know pizza. But it didn't say pizza and then toppings. So I don't know why I didn't do that. And I don't know if that's what's on the menu because I can't see it unless I magnify. But so you get all of the text that it captured, a little bit of a summary on top. And then down below, I got to remember these buttons here for a second. Let me see what it says.
Take picture button. Ask more button.
So ask more is just like the thing in what you call it in Seeing AI, where you ask AI. It's the same kind of deal. So I'm gonna open that up.
Message, text field, message, text field.
So to be fair, I'm gonna ask it if there are any salads on the menu, just like I asked Seeing AI, and let's see what it does. So I got to double tap, dictate, then double tap. Are there any salads on the menu?
Inserted, are there any salads on the menu?
Now in this one, I have to swipe over to the send button. It doesn't automatically put me on. So let me swipe over.
Clear text, button. Send message, button. Please wait. Be My AI is writing a message. Be My AI, yes, there are salads on the menu. Here are the options. Chef salad, $9.99. Caesar salad, $9.99. Add chicken, $3.99. Grilled chicken salad, large $6.49. Small $3.99. Dinner salad, small $3.99.
Okay, so and then I'll ask it about the lobster, which we know is not on there. So let's see what it says when it doesn't find what we're looking for. So let me do that next. So I'm still on the send button, so I have to go back over to the text field to dictate my next question. And as a blind person, you got to remember that, or you have to relocate. So let me do that now. I'm going to swipe back to the left to get back to the field.
Clear text, button, message, text field, is edited.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Are there any lobster on the menu?
Inserted, are there any lobster on the menu? Send message, button, please wait. Be My AI is writing a message. Be My AI, no, there is no lobster listed on the menu.
And then to just be consistent with my last test, I'm going to ask about the hot dogs. I think that was, and then gluten. I think we're going to do that too. So let's do that just to hear the difference.
Message, text field, is editing. Here.
Are there any hot dogs in the menu?
Inserted, are there any hot dogs in the menu? Send message, button, please wait. Be My AI is writing a message. Be My AI, yes, there are hot dogs on the menu. Hot dog and French fries, $9.99. Kids hot dog and fries, $5.99 for the kids section.
Okay, now I'm going to ask about gluten-free. I think that's what Patty told me to ask. Let me do that.
Message, text field,
Are there any gluten-free items on the menu?
Inserted, are there any clear text, send message, button. Send message, please wait. Be My AI is writing a message. Be My AI, the menu in the picture does not specify any items as gluten-free. It would be best to press the Call a Volunteer button for guidance on this matter to ensure accurate information.
So that was a difference there. The one app, Seeing AI, did find gluten-free stuff, but this one did not. And I don't know why. They're just different animals. And what I'm doing when I say menu, you really don't need to say that. I just say that because of habit. You could just say, are there any gluten-free items? Because it's only going to check the thing that you just took a picture of. It doesn't care if it's a menu or a piece of paper or whatever. So that's the only difference. But yeah, from what I can tell, Seeing AI did a slightly better job, and it helps me frame the menu easily versus Be My AI. But they're both good tools to have in your arsenal if you need to read something. So like I said, and if anybody needs any help about this offline, I would be so more than happy to step people through it. Because I think this incorporation of AI technology into these tools is kind of a godsend for us. I mean, never in the history of humanity have we had these kind of tools to help us out. So I think we should definitely take advantage of them.
Manny, I use that Seeing AI all the time now. I mean, not Seeing AI, the Be My Eye artificial one.
Mhm.
I've been using it like 2 to 3 times a day. One thing that on the end, there is a clear picture button, and it's located on the upper left before you can take another picture.
Oh,
But
okay.
I
Screen
have used it to take pictures of paintings. It will describe everything. And I bought Hunter a birthday card and then couldn't remember which way it opened up.
Mhm.
So I was able to take the picture and then open it up and it read everything to me. So it's,
Yes.
and it will also do colors. I was having problems with colors. And it tells you exactly what color your shirt is, right down to the detail, which is bolded, which if it's in italic, it's amazing. So
Yes.
the
In fact,
they're both game changers, but the Be My Eyes artificial intelligence I've really been enjoying.
yes. Thank you, Barbara. You just reminded me that Be My AI, that app is really good at things that you're talking about, looking at objects. If you're looking at, I don't know, like a painting on the wall, it'll actually describe the painting to you, and it does it really well. So it's really strong in that area, describing the objects around you, or even maybe like the scene, like there's a table with a wooden chair on the right side, an open window with bright sunlight coming in, this kind of stuff. And then I like seeing AI for paperwork and menus and stuff. So I mean, we win either way. So I think it's great to have both of those. So remember, the two apps that you need, one's called Seeing AI by Microsoft, completely free, and the other one's called Be My AI, completely free. And that one has human volunteers. If you get really stuck, you can have somebody on the other side looking at whatever you're looking at and helping you. I did demo that before, and if you remember, I was having them separate colored markers. Like, where's the red one? And I put my finger on it, and she'd go, yeah, that's it right there. And then I would pull it out, and I was showing you guys that in a class about 6 months ago. So these apps are very mature. They've been around for a few years already, and they're really good at what they do.
Okay, you want to go over the other features of Seeing AI?
Yeah, let's quickly peruse those too. Hang on a second.
7:16 p.m.
Any questions while I'm doing this? I'll be happy to answer while I'm.
Yes,
Yes,
this
go
is
ahead.
Nancy. Could
Yes,
Seeing AI, would it be practical to use it to read a menu board in a restaurant where it's
Yes.
up on the restaurant?
yes,
It's so intimidating.
yes. So you point your phone. So this is Nancy, right?
Yes,
So if I remember, Nancy, you have some vision. You're low vision, right? I don't want to like out you in front of everybody,
right, but I
you're low
can't read
vision.
the menu board.
So you
Right,
can actually see the whole board. You just can't read the text.
Right.
So you would point
Right.
your phone and frame as much as you can. And then you can
Mhm.
just do what we did with the menu. Just sit there and just go through it. Now, if you want to do it in real time, I'm going to show you that feature in Seeing AI. It's called short text. So you point it up at a part of the menu, and it'll just start rattling it off. It'll say tostadas $3.99, blah, blah, blah. It'll just say just what's there. And you could really go through a menu just by rotating your phone around. And yeah,
That would be great.
so for my example with short text, I'm gonna use the same menu, except I'm gonna pan and scan it. And it should start talking and telling me all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, it's not gonna be as good as what I just did because I holistically took the menu in and then I queried what's on the menu via the AI thing. This is gonna be more of a pan and scan, whatever it sees is whatever it reads, the classic, but it has its place too. So let me go over there and do that.
7:18 p.m. Face ID. Be My Eyes. Message. Text field. Calendar. Tuesday. Be My Eye. Closing Be My Eyes.
All right. Let me just close a couple things here.
Mail. Closing mail.
All right.
News. Calendar. Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, Siri. Siri. Open Seeing AI. Okay, I'm going to go down to the bottom channel bar. You always have to do that with Seeing AI. Never assume that it's in the right mode. So you can come up from the bottom, or you can swipe to the right a few times to get down there. I come up from the bottom. So this is what it sounds like.
Channel. Short text. Adjustable.
So usually when you're launching Seeing AI for the first time, it defaults to short text. If you had it open before and then you call it up again, it'll be at whatever channel you left it on. So if you like using document mode, you can use it and then just go do something else. And when you call up Seeing AI again, it'll be in document mode. All right, so I got the same menu right here. And I'm just gonna pan and scan. This requires that you kind of see it, or you're gonna have to at least orient your phone above it so it can start reading. So let me try that. And the optimum distance for your phone to be relative to what you're reading is between 6 to 8 inches. You could go out to 12 if you want to read a lot more. The further you go out, the more it'll read. And then the closer you get in, the smaller the window is until it starts blurring out, then it won't read anything. But try to keep it about 6 to 8 inches or more away. That's what your goal is here. So here we go. I'm gonna bring it over the menu right now.
Grandma Tun's Pizza. Small 10, $14 bullet medium 12, $16 bullet large 16, S. Everything pizza, sausage bullet.
Okay, now I'm
X,
gonna.
Batten.
Now it keeps reading as I move it, so I'm going to move it to a different part of the menu. In fact, I'm going to put it back on the menu, and I'm going to move it around, and you'll hear it change what it's saying. I'll go from the left corner to the right corner, top to bottom, and you'll hear it change each time. So we're going to do left corner, top left corner now. Let's do that. Maybe.
Sorry.
Oops. Try that again. Takes 1 second. Come on. All right, hang on.
Channel, short.
Sometimes it times out, then you have to just go in and then swipe up or down real quick to get it to work.
Document, short text.
Now we'll do it.
Tabs. The Gaslight. Grandma Tony's Pizza. Small 10, $14 bullet medium.
Okay, I'm going to shift it to the
$16
right.
bullet large 16, $21. Every link LE Gaslight Theater. Temptations, 58.99. Hot dog and fries. Ellipsis. Mini corn dogs and FRE.
Now I'm going to go down to
Fries
the bottom on the right side.
Sandwich. Hot Treater 1. Desserts. Ice cream sundae, 3 scoops.
Deserts.
Desserts. It's Sandy, 3 Byler 50. Desserts. Bullet sundaes, 3 soup.
Now I'm going to go to the
7.
left on the bottom, so I'm
Here.
going all the way around the
Shape.
menu.
51, 1,219.
Let's see.
8G, $1. Grilled chicken salad. Ellipsis, $9.99.
So you get the point. It's spot reading and it does short text if you just want to peruse it. And again, if you have an earbud in or something connected, no one else is going to hear that except you. So you can learn about the menu probably a lot faster than the people around you, depending on which method you use. And of course, you got to remember, it only scans one side of the menu. And these apps, you can scan the first page and the second page and the third page and the fourth page, and then you can ask all your questions. It gives you an option to scan more pages. And then all those pages will be available like a little database, and you can query it and ask it a bunch of questions. That's the thing I forgot to tell you before. So it's like these double-sided menus, you'll have to scan both sides to see everything. But some of these places have menus that are, 4 pages. And so you just scan each page, ask it those questions, and then you're all set. Now, the other thing,
Text.
oops,
T.
hang on.
S.
The other thing in Seeing AI is we have products, and those just, you put them on an item, and then it just reads whatever it is to you. If it's in the UPC database, usually in a grocery store, if you pull a can of something or a box of something, find the barcode, and you look at it, it'll tell you what it is. I don't have anything barcode here to read for you to example, but it works, and I've done that before in other classes here. Some of the other ones here that are real handy, let me just go through them, we can hear them one at a time.
Document.
Okay, document is what we first started with when we read the menu.
Product.
That's what I just explained, that's barcode reading. So you find a barcode, read it, boom, it tells you what it is.
Scene. Preview.
Scene is like what Be My Eyes is really good at. You can point it like at your living room and it'll tell you there's a sofa and a window and a sliding glass door, there's some carpets and blah, blah. It'll just try to do everything. I noticed when I do my office, it says a cluttered office. And I thought that was kind of neat. So I don't know. I don't know about the technology. That's why
It lies.
actually it's telling the truth. That's what makes me angry about it. So but anyway, and there's some more. Let me just go through those.
Person.
So a person, so let's say if you're with your significant other, like if I take a picture of Patty and her face, okay, and and she goes off and talks to other people, and I don't know where she's at, okay? If she's facing me wherever she's at, if she looks and I'm pointing my phone and it sees her, it'll say Patty's right over there, about 20 feet away. It'll actually recognize faces. That's what a person recognition does. I haven't tried that yet because I just haven't had opportunity. Maybe that'll be another thing I do in a class, but basically that's how it's supposed to work.
We
Yeah.
used to,
So when they showed that one, she did it with her mommy. It was so funny, calls her mommy. Took a picture of mommy, and then the mother went back in the room somewhere among the people sitting down, and the phone said, "Oh, there's your mommy. She's in the third row." Blah blah blah. I was
Yeah, it's an amazing technology.
this
And-
is Patty. We used to use it, me and Marlene and Mitzi, we used to go to the mall and we did it. We would find each other because we would get lost, you know, in the snack area.
Yeah.
And that's how we used to find each other, all of us. So it's an
Okay.
awesome thing.
Yeah, and Patty's right. It's the same technology. The same technology that you query documents with, it's using that to recognize faces. And you'd be surprised at what goes into facial recognition. It's a very interesting technology, and it's too much to go into in the scope of this meeting. But let me tell you, there's a lot of engineering behind that. But it's not 100% accurate. It could recognize somebody it says it's this person, and it could be wrong depending on how far away they are and
Pause
other factors.
recognition due to inactivity.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah,
Resume recognition.
that's kind of what this does. So you don't want to rely on this for things that can put you in danger. And it tells you that at the beginning of the using the program, you got to agree to not to rely on it if it can put you in danger. Don't count on it for stuff like that. So let's go to the next thing. We were on person. Let's go to the next one.
Currency.
Currency, it's just money, paper money, which is hardly out anymore. I rarely have money anymore. But if you needed to identify paper money, whether it's US, Canadian, Mexican, or Chinese, or whatever, you can stick it in front of the camera. It'll tell you the amount and then the denomination, or whatever the bill is, $5, $10, whatever. So let me go to the next thing.
World preview.
This one, I don't know what this one, I haven't tried this one yet. So that's one I'm gonna have to put a pin in and get back to you. I haven't tried this world thing yet. I don't know what that means. So I don't wanna give you a wrong idea.
Color brown.
So I'm looking at my desk, which is a brown desk, and it correctly identified it. Now, color is very picky. If you
Brown and
have,
brownish green.
yeah, whatever.
Brown.
Shh.
Brown
So,
and brownish green.
hang on a second.
Handwriting. Free.
Okay, so color is tricky because if you have anything other than pure light, that light and shadow will affect the colors that it sees. If you're looking at your jeans and they're blue jeans, but let's say you have a lot of light on them, well, they're going to look lighter than blue. They're going to be called gray, okay? But if you're like in a darker area with enough light to see your legs and you do it, it'll say blue for the same exact color. So that can't be relied on 100% unless you're putting the objects that you're recognizing in under a light source that is very pure, that it's not favoring yellows or reds or blues or whatever. It's got to be, that's the only time this really works right. Anyway. So if you're trying to match clothes, just be sure that you're looking at them in the same lighting, that you're not casting shadows on the areas that you're trying to recognize. Okay. So here's the next one, handwriting. So if you handwrite something out like "Be My Valentine," and you can't do it in script, cursive, you got to do it in blocky old letters, "Be My Valentine." You can put this over it and recognize it, and it'll actually discern that, say "Be My Valentine." So it'll do that. That's a very good feature that it has. And let me see, I think there's one more. Let me see here.
Light.
So light is funny. It gives you a tone. Put it by the screen where the white light's coming on, high tone. Put it away from screen, cover the camera. Low. This is that's how blind people know that lights are on in the room.
Calendar, Tuesday.
So that's kind of a cool little application, and it's free. I mean, that's amazing to me that this much functionality is in something that's free. So there it is. I hope you guys liked the demo. I really wanted to show you how to read menus because I thought that was the most amazing thing ever for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that easily impressed. So that was pretty good. So any questions on seeing AI or Be My Eyes or anything, or did I miss anything, Barbara, that you wanted me to talk about?
No. You got it.
Okay. Well, all right, if there are no questions, I'll get to my second guy. Let me put the menu away real quick. I'll put it here.
This is Patty. I use CNAI for everything. I have
Seeing AI, closing
I
seeing
have all
AI.
these other
Calendar,
expenses,
Tuesday.
magnifiers and all that to read my mail. I've used CNAI since they came out, and I use it for everything. That's
Yes.
what I just love that product. I mean, I use all the everything. I mean, I use the people, finding the people. I use the handwriting. It was real good for Christmas for the cards. That was awesome this time.
Yeah, I always see Patty using that in the store. We'll go to a store and start shopping, and she'll be there picking up items off the shelf and using her phone. She really uses. I'm amazed with her about how she's taken to it. So, like I said, I'm available to anybody who wants to use this because I think it's so important to get this under your belt. I mean, if nothing else, learn how to use this program. I mean, that's going to save you loads of trouble in your life. And,
Question.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was wondering, is there any difference in the use of these things that you're talking about today between the different models of iPhone?
No, the better camera that you have, of course, the better the recognition is. But all iPhones have very good cameras for this kind of stuff. So your SE phone, Larry, will be just fine. Just fine. Yeah. Now, the difference comes not in this so much. I'm just going to tell you the difference. The more expensive iPhones have telephoto wide angle and all those lenses, so you can capture more of your environment. And it also has LiDAR, which gives you distancing information if you need that. But just a simple camera, is, with the quality of Apple's optics, will be plenty to do what I just did. No problem whatsoever. So yes, Larry, get that program and practice. You'll have a lot of fun. All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. Any more questions on that? All right. I threaten you guys. I'm moving on then. All right. So new to 17.2 is this thing called live voicemail. I'm sure every one of you have experienced it and either love it or hate it. I don't like it so much, not because it's a bad feature, but because the implementation is not good. So what live voicemail is when you get a call and you don't answer it, and they're going to leave a voicemail, it'll start translating what they're saying or transcribing what they're saying onto the screen. The problem is if you have voicemail on and it's reading it, it reads, stops, so you never get the whole message. So I think that's something they're working on for us. But the option does work well, because what it allows you to do is if you get a call from an unknown number, and let's say, they say, hello, Manny, this is the IRS, or I don't know what to even say, but it's something that I want to get, but I don't really trust it just by the number. I can listen to voiceover, speak it while the person's leaving the voicemail, and if it's somebody that I want to talk to, I can hit the answer button and interrupt them leaving a voicemail and begin talking to them. It's like a perfect call screening. Excuse me. So it's really nice, and I think it's a nice thing to have now. because we couldn't do that before. You would have to go back later and see, do I have any voicemail? And then hear it. But here, if it's somebody important like a doctor that you haven't entered into your contacts, let's say, and they're calling you back, you can answer it right when they're leaving the message and be able to get to talk to them in person without waiting. So that's a real nice thing to have. And by default, it's turned on. If you wanted to turn it off, you have to go in to your settings on your phone. And I think it's under call, if I'm not mistaken. You go in there and then you can turn live voicemail off. And if you do that, it'll act like it did before. It'll ring for a while. And then when they get connected to your voicemail box, your phone will disengage. And they will leave a voicemail and the call will not be active anymore. So that's kind of what live voicemail does. It's kind of cool if you like it. I'm waiting for them to fix it for voiceover users because it's not working well with voiceover. So any questions on that one? All right.
7:35 p. Try again.
Oh, sorry, I think my phone's way too loud. Hang on a second.
7:35 p.m.
Turn it down a little bit. Okay. All right. So what's next here? We have when you've updated to 17.2, one of the casualties of doing that is that if you have a custom double tap timeout setting, it sets it back to the default. So right now your phone, when you do a double tap, there's a setting that says how long it's going to wait for that second tap before it considers it a double tap. And typically that's 1/4 of a second, 0.25 seconds. So you got to go bam, bam, like that. You can extend that to half a second. So you go bam, bam. You know what I mean? You can space those out if you can't do fast tapping for whatever reason. So to do that, you have to go into accessibility. So let me just go do that now. And I'll show you where that's at, okay? And the setting is called double tap timeout.
7:36 p.m.
Get in there right now. Siri, open settings.
Settings. Personal.
So if memory serves, we've got to go to accessibility. We'll go there first.
Personal hots. Notification. Sound. Focus. Screen. General. Control. Display and bright. Home screen and accessibility. Button.
So you go to the front door and then accessibility.
Vision. Heading.
And I believe at the bottom of this screen is where the double tap timeout's going to be, or it's going to be under voiceover than the bottom of the screen. I think, let's go to voiceover. I think
Voiceover.
that's where it's at.
Button. Voiceover speaks
So
item.
accessibility, voiceover, and then bottom of the screen should be where it's at.
Tip. Detection mode. Use mag. Rotor. Button. Rows 10 to 18. Navigate images. Large cursor. Caption panel. Rows 13 to 19. Double tap timeout. 0.35s.
So there it is. Mine's set to 0.35. It's normally 0.25, but I must have been demoing it before. So you double tap on this, double tap timeout guy.
Double tap timeout. Heading.
And what you'll do is you'll swipe over to this part here. So we swipe one time.
Seconds. 0.35.
That tells you the current timeout. Now, if you want to change that, you swipe again.
Decrement. Button.
Decrement means to lessen the time. Let's say we want to go to 0.30. So I double tap there.
0.30.
And if I want to go to the default, I'll go to 0.25.
0.25.
Now, if you're a real caffeine addict, you can take it down to 0.1 or something, go real quick, you know. But most of us will have it at 0.25, and some of us need it a little higher so we can accommodate a slower double tapping, which is no problem, by the way. How you tap is no problem. So, and that's how you do that. And it looks like this, for those people who can see.
Manny, they recommend you have it on 0.5.
0.5, okay. Well, there it is. Yeah, that gives you a whole half second to do 2 consecutive taps for it to detect a double tap situation. So what will happen is if you have a 0.5 and you take longer than 0.5 seconds to double tap your phone, boom, boom, it takes those gestures as 2 single taps. So you got to do it within the limit, within the 0.5 or whatever you have set up. So that's how that works. And that's under, remember, settings, accessibility, voiceover, and then double tap timeout. It's only 3 levels deep. So, all right. Any questions about double tap timeout? Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is a whole lot of fun. This is about what you do when you want to edit a text box. Like you want to put text in there, you want to figure out what's going on, this and that. So I'm going to open up an app that has a text box at the bottom. Okay, messages. That's the one we all use. So let's go to messages.
Calendar, Tuesday.
Now this could be any app. This could be Safari's address bar. This could be the messages text box. This could be email. This could be anything that accepts keyboard input. That's a text box, okay? So anywhere you can type is what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're just gonna, for our example today, we're just gonna go into messages and find one, okay?
Dog, messages, 2 messages,
So let me go over to, we'll pick on Maggie Hagan today.
conversations,
Okay.
So I got Maggie and I have a conversation going on here. And I'm going to double tap within my double tap timeout window. So I think it was 0.2535, so you just go.
messages,
Okay.
text message,
Now I'm in the thing. Now to get down to the place where I can dictate, you got to go to the text box or the message thing. So I'm gonna go to it and you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, here we go.
vertical scroll bar, 20 apps, button, message, text field, double
Text.
tap to edit, swipe up or down,
So it said text field. That tells you exactly what it is. Text field is the type of the thing you're in. It's not the name of it. It's what it is. It's like a radio button or a checkbox or a list. This is the text field. And in this text field, you can dictate text. So when you get to a text field, before you can dictate into it, you have to open it up for editing. And it tells you all this when you swipe to it. If you wait for it to finish telling you stuff, it'll tell you everything you need to know. Let me do that. I'm going to swipe out of it and back in, and you can hear what it says.
apps, button, message, text field,
My dryer's
double
still
tap to
on.
edit, swipe up or down to select a custom
Is
action,
the dryer
double
still
tap
on?
to activate, use the rotor to access misspelled words,
Mm.
mentions,
Okay. So
I don't know. Dryer not.
it said text field. So if I want to edit that field, I have to double tap on it. So I'm going to do that now. One finger, double tap.
message, text field, is editing, text message, insertion point,
When you hear text field, again, the name of the object and then what it is, text field is editing is important. Now you can dictate. Now you can do your 2-finger double tap, say your piece, and then end it with another 2-finger double tap. So I'm going to say something like this, 2-finger double tap. Hello, Maggie, ellipsis. This is a test.
Over there sitting on that.
inserted hello Maggie, this is a chest,
So what it does, it repeats what you said in there. And it said, instead of test, my voice is kind of sloppy. It said chest, which is not what I wanted to say. So what I can do is I can back it up.
T, S, E, H, C,
So that was the last word. So I just did a backspace and I'm going to dictate the word test in there instead. Test.
search insert test,
So if I want to hear the whole thing again that I just dictated, I can put my finger on the field again.
message, text field, is editing, hello Maggie, this is a test, character mode, insertion point at end, use the rotor to access,
Now, where it says the insertion point is very important. It says insertion point at end. That means I'm at the very end of what's in that text field. If I want to go to the beginning, I double tap on that same text field with 1 finger. Now remember, we're always editing when we're doing this. None of this happens without editing first. So we have to double tap to open it for editing. So we are editing now and I'm at the end. So I want to go to the beginning. I double tap with 1 finger on the field.
insertion point at start,
And then if I want to go word by word, but what I said, then I go to the rotor and I switch it to words. So let me do this.
words,
So I just did 1 little swipe. I'm at words. I flick up or down, I can go word by word through what I have in that text field. I'm going to swipe up. Nope, swipe down, sorry.
Hello, Maggie. This is a test.
And I can go back the other way.
Test. A is this Maggie.
Let's say I want to go by character now. I want to go through Maggie's name. Then I switch the granularity from words to character.
Speaking rate, containers, headings, typing mode, edit, misspelled words, mentions, characters,
And then I do that, and I swipe up, I think.
space, O, L,
No,
L,
other way, sorry.
O, space, cap M, A, G, G, I, E.
And it went through Maggie's name. So that's how you can get to different levels of granularity when you dictate stuff in. Typically what I do if I make a mistake, I just delete it and I dictate again. And if you want to delete everything really quick, there's another rotor action you can do. Now this is a lot to just take in on a class, but when you see the notes, I'm going to outline it to where you can, what you do before you start editing, how you dictate, if you want to navigate by words or by characters. And then if you just want to select the whole thing and just do that, you can do that here too. You select it all and then retype over it. So you can do that by the rotor. So you do the rotor action.
Send,
Oops,
button,
sorry. Try that again.
words, speaking rate, containers, headings, characters, words, speaking rate, containers, headings,
Okay, for some reason it's not giving me the edit.
message, text field,
Try that again.
words, speaking rate, containers, headings, typing mode, tap edit,
Right there. So I'm gonna edit and then gonna select all.
select all. Hello Maggie, this is a test, selected,
You heard that. So hello,
Manny?
Maggie. This,
Manny, where was
Yeah.
that select all in?
I'm sorry.
Where was the select all in?
Okay, so while you're editing the field, you do the rotor. You got to be on the field. You can't be away from it.
I
And
got
it-
that part, but I don't know where it is.
It's called edit. So let me find it. Let me find it for you again so you can hear it.
misspelled words, edit,
Edit. And then once you get the rotor into the edit mode, you can then swipe up or down to get to the functions. Like I'm going to swipe down.
share, undo, speak, copy, cut, look up, share,
So it knows that it's already selected. So it doesn't give me that option. It knows I've already selected it. So I can share that. I can cut it. Like if you want to delete it, you can just cut it out of there.
look up, cut.
If I do that, it goes away.
Hello Maggie, this is a test.
Now, if I go back to the field,
Message, text field, is editing, text message, insertion point at start.
it doesn't say anything because I just cut all that text out of there. So, like I said, if you wanted to do something with the text, you use the rotor and go to edit, and then you can hear all the options. You can select it all, you can copy it, put it in notes or somewhere else, or whatever you want to do. That's what's good about the editing controls on the iPhone. So in the notes, I'll give you some details, some simple exercises to do this so you can practice. Because once you get it down, then you'll be able to do it without thinking about it. And that's where I'm at with this, because I teach it all the time. So any questions about that, about editing text boxes and dictating and things like that? Or are we all good to go? All right. So let me see here. Let me close this up.
Dot, messages, do unwrap apps with message, closing messages, settings, closing settings, dot.
So Annie, are you still here? Oh, I mean, she may not be here. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to go over tonight was Audio Vault and how you download. We've done this before, but I want to make sure that everybody knows how to actually do this and what happens. And I won't go too fast on this because I get a tendency, because I know where I'm going and I get there too quick. So the first thing you want to do with Audio Vault is you want to understand what you want to do. You want to figure out what movie you're going to get or TV show. So you go in there and when you find it, I'm going to show you how you can get it to your phone. And there's really two ways to do this. So let me go into Audio Vault now. Hang on just a second.
Manny, you need
Yeah.
to tell them there's no video, only audio.
Oh, that's right. I'm saying Audio Vault by its name. You can download movies, but they're only the audio and usually described versions of the movie. So that's how they can, I guess, get away with distributing this without problems.
Screen dim.
And they do restrict you because you can't download more than, I think it's 30 a month or something like that. Anyway,
No, it's you can't do more than 20 a day.
oh, 20 a day. Oh, that's a lot of movies. So yeah. And it's a great service because if you don't really need to see the movie, you get the movie. I mean, you basically get the movie, you can hear it all. And when it's described, you basically can experience the movie in a very good way. Okay. So I'm gonna look at just some part like Back to the Future. I know that one's there. And I'm gonna pretend and go through it like I'm going to download that movie. Okay. So, and I'm gonna tell you what the difference is, though. Don't worry, don't get hung up on download and all that yet. So I'm gonna
7:50 p.m.
open it up. Just a second
Save
here.
ID. Calendar.
Now, it's not an app. It only works from the web, which is kind of bad because their web interface is not as good as I would like it, but it's good enough. If you know what I'm going to show you right here. So hang on a second.
Uber Eats. Page 2 of 4. Clue Maps. Page 3 of 4. Audio Vault.
So I
Double tap to open.
have an Audio Vault link on one of my home screens, and I showed you guys how to do that. When you share a website to one of your home screens, it creates the Audio Vault link in this case. So I'm gonna double tap that, and Safari will open.
Safari. Download. Row 33.
Now, if you've cleared your history and website data since the last time you were in, then those local files that Audio Vault puts on your phone that tracks your password and stuff, they're gone. You'll have to re-log in. So I'm going to do that.
Search by date. Button.
Hang on a second. Let me log in.
Name. 12 days till Christmas. TTN. Support the bullet. View all the move. Bullet. View all the T bullet. Home. Link. Bullet. Home. Link. Home. Link. Register. Link. Login. Link. Email address. Sign into Audio Vault.
So I have Audio Vault credentials stored in Keychain, so I don't have to enter them. I just have to give it my face and then it'll put them in for me. So that's what this is. It sounds like this.
Use the Romani@gmail.com button.
That's my email address, and that's what I'm registered with them. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at my phone so it recognizes my face.
Face ID authenticated. User authentication. Email address. Text field. The Romani@gmail.com. Join us in thanking your welcome. Manny's upload link.
All right, so it recognized me. And I'm going to go down to the part where we can get to the movies. Okay, let's do that.
View all the TV shows. Bullet. View all the movies.
So
link.
that's about almost all the way down the page of my phone. It's a little blue link called View All the Movies. I'm going to go in there.
Download it.
Oops, hang on.
90,400. Support the audio. View all the movies. Web page loaded.
Then we get this generic little thing, and we're going to get down to where we can do a name search. Okay, so that's down about a quarter of the ways down the screen.
Name. Column download. Column header. Pop-up button. From date. Pop-up type. Show. Search by date. Search. Search. Ellipsis. Text field.
On this
Double tap
particular
edit.
thing, it says search ellipsis and then the famous text field, because that's something that you can open up and edit, just like I showed you on the messages. So I can double tap to do that.
Insertion point at end.
Then I can dictate the movie I want. So I'm going to do that next. Back to the Future.
Inserted Back to the Future.
All right, so now what I do is I'm going to have to go to the search button. Now I think there's a search on the keyboard. I could try that.
Search.
So that's the you could do that. Just go to the keyboard search at the bottom or find the search on the website. It's the same difference.
View movies. Heading level. Page setting.
And then about the middle of the screen, you're going to have a table with all of the search results. I'm just gonna get you down there. You can on your own, you can swipe through all of the different things, but we want to get down to the search results, which are down here.
Search. Back to the future. Search button. ID, row header, column header, row 1.
So
column
it
1,
what
table start.
the search
6 rows, 3 column.
the search results are in a table. There's 3 columns, and there whatever many that it found are going to be underneath. So here's how you peruse that. You swipe to the right. We're going to go through the headers first, the column names.
Download, row 6. Back to the future, text field.
Hold on.
Search, ID, name, download.
Okay, here we
column
go.
header, 3217.
That's the ID. Nobody cares about that.
Name, Back to the Future UK 1985, column 2.
Well, that's Back to the Future UK. I don't want the English version, or the British version. I want to go down to find the US version. So we got to keep swiping and go to the next guy. So
Download, ID, 9300. Name, Back to the Future US 1985.
okay, so that's the name of the one I want. So you do not double tap on the name. That's not what you do. You got to swipe one more over to download. So we do that.
Download, column 3, link.
Now, when I double tap on download, I have 2 options. I can view it or I can download it. If I view it, it's going to start streaming over the internet to my phone. And it may or may not work. It's just using the most basic viewer that you can think of. But when you download it, it goes into your Files app, and it's there for you to launch with your whatever the previewer that's on the phone, which is much better than the website. So I'm going to double tap and I'm going to choose download. So let me do that now.
Alert. Do you want to download Back to the Future US 1985 MP3?
Okay, then we're going to keep going.
Close button. View button.
So the view does the streaming. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to download. That's the one you want.
Download button.
I'm going to double tap on that.
Web page loaded. Download. View movie.
Now, as far as this app's concerned, you're done. It's not going to tell you that it downloaded, that it's downloading, none of that. Once you hit download or view, that's it. You have to go into the Files app and to see where the progress is on your download. So that happens in a background task behind the scenes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to open Files and look for this download. So I'm going to say Siri. Siri. Open Files.
Files. Tab bar. Shared. Tab. 2 of 3.
Let's go to Recents.
Recents. Heading.
So Recents is where you want to go.
Search. Search field. Dictate. Button. Back to the Future US 1985. Audio.
And there it is.
56 p.m. Up arrow 110.7 MB. Actions available.
So now on my old internet provider, I'd still be waiting for it to download, but on the new one, it downloads in seconds. So it's ready to go. And if I tap on it, it'll start playing. I'm gonna do that now.
Back to the Future US 19.
Well, it won't start playing, it'll launch it. And I gotta hit the play button. Let me do that.
List. Button.
So now on the iPhone, you have the default player because it's just a music file. MP3 is an audio file only, there's no video. So it brings up the audio player. And if I start it.
Play. Button.
Now the planet Earth
List.
spins
Button.
on a black star-sprinkled sky. Dusty blue rings like spotlight beams focus on it with a golden word, universal. An MCA company.
So you kind of get the point, it's playing it.
On a black screen,
Anyway.
titles appear. Steven Spielberg presents a Robert Zemeckis film.
And that's how you do it. Like I said, the view option doesn't really work well. Just download and then go to Files, and it'll be there. It'll be downloading or it'll be there. So that always works for me for some reason. I know Barbara has been having a different experience, and I'm not sure why. But for me, I just hit download.
They can't do it that way. There's 2 ways, other way to do it. You can open it in Safari and download it again, and that will put it in file.
Okay.
Or you can go to the share button, and one of the options comes up, save in files, and then there's a save button in the upper right.
No. So as long as you can get it downloaded to Files, that means you don't have to worry about internet traffic or anything, and then you can just play it locally. So whichever way to do it works for you is okay. There's no wrong way to do it as long as you can get it downloaded to your phone. So And if anybody has any trouble with this in the future, feel free to call me, and if I'm available, I'll walk you through it. It's really easy to do. It's just the first time's the hardest time. So
The other thing is, to get it on your home screen, you go to the share button, and then you have to click down quite a few times, and then one of the options is put on home screen.
okay. Yeah. That's another way. Yeah, that's it's a good observation. Yes. Very cool. Anybody have any questions on that? Audio Vault, or how to download
Oh,
them?
it's wonderful. I have 50 movies on my files right now.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing about Audio Vault is that you can get old classics. Like I mean, I got an old movie, I forget what it's called. Anyway, it had Katharine Hepburn in it, and it was really good. It was a really good movie. So I thought it
Oh,
was
they have a lot of things. They have Breakfast at Tiffany's, When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail,
yeah.
Sleepless in Seattle. I have a lot of them.
And I just downloaded Back to the Future in a couple of seconds, and if I wanted to, I could just play the movie out. And what's good about these downloads is that when you're on a plane or something like that, and you can't get to internet, well, they're there for you to hear. You just plug in your headphones and you can listen to them the whole flight, and no problem. And it doesn't interfere with the plane or anything like that.
So once that movie is in files, you double tap on the movie and then you click to the right where it says play.
That's right. There's a music player that comes up that comes bundled with your iPhone. Everybody's got it. And it'll come up, and then right in the middle of the whole screen is a little round play button, but you can swipe to it, double tap on that, and it starts playing. You do a 2-finger double tap to pause it. So that works real good. And I've tried the streaming thing, and it does work, but then it acts funky. If you do the view instead of download, I didn't get consistent results with that.
Screen dim.
It should work, but it doesn't sometimes, and I don't know why. So. All right. So the next thing on my list, if there's no questions about Audio Vault, is a little show and tell. So for those of you who have phones, iPhone 12 or newer, you have what's called MagSafe. And this device that I have in my hand that I'm showing you is a nightstand kind of charger. And it's not a big deal in the history of the world. But what's good about it is that right now, if you wirelessly charge your iPhone on a normal charger with the round plate that you lay it on, if you happen to brush your hand against it, you'll knock your phone off, maybe onto the floor. With MagSafe, that's on these iPhone 12s and newer, there's a magnetic coupling that happens. And I got the phone in my right hand on the left side of your screen, and I have the stand in my other hand on your right side. And what happens is all I got to do is pair up that little circle on my case with this little circle here, and it sticks. Maybe. Right there. And now it ain't going anywhere. I got it upside down. It's not going anywhere. So if I hit it with my hand, it's not going to be a problem. If I want to see it in portrait versus, in landscape versus portrait, I can just rotate it on the magnet. This one also has a pad back here to put your watch. You can lay your watch down right on it. Well, in fact, I can do that now since we're here. I got my watch on. I can just lay the watch right here on this part, and it magnetically is held by it too. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay. And then at the bottom, if you have those AirPods, those things that go in your ears, you can put them right on the bottom here, and it charges those. So this is really good for for phones, for keeping your phone from being dropped or accidentally knocked off of the stand. And it also charges it, by the way. This is a charging stand. There's a little plug back here, gets plugged in right there, and it charges the phone too. So I think that's going to be a really good thing for those of you with MagSafe phones. And I think all the future phones coming out are gonna have the MagSafe standard, so. And this is like a $25 item, it's no big deal, but it's really cute and it sits up just like that, no problem. Like that. No wires, no worrying about it falling, no sliding around, no missing the target, like if you don't put it exactly right on the circle in the right way, it won't charge. Nope, it always perfect. Never any guesswork in this, you know. As long as it sticks, then you know you got it. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you with the MagSafe stand. Great for nightstand, great for anything. And it's small, it's about the size of your hand. So it's no big deal at all. And that's my show and tell for the MagSafe charger stand. That's what it's called. And they run at less than $30 over at Amazon. So, all right. So no questions about that. I'll go to the next thing.
What?
Hello? Okay. So the next thing is in the Zoom app, if you I had a problem with it this week with Barbara, changing your name that's displayed on the screen in the Zoom app. So if your name is like iPhone 8 or some crazy name like that, and you want to put your name there, I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, let's do that now.
8:05 p.m.
You close the player. So what you do is you got to go in on your iPhone, you got to go into the Zoom app. This does not apply to Zoom meetings that you do on your browser on your computer. That's a whole different thing, okay? I'm working on figuring that out, but for the phone or the iPad, this is the way it works. Siri, open Zoom.
Zoom. Tab bar. Mail. Tab. 3 of 5.
Okay, so in the Zoom app, there is a tab on the bottom that you go to, and it's called
Tab bar. Team chat. Tab. 2 of 5.
Team Chat. And then in Team Chat, you go to your name.
Manny Celis. Available. Button.
And you double tap on that.
Manny Celis. Available. Team chat. Backup.
And then inside there is where your display name is. Let me find it.
Account. Display name. Manny Celis.
Display name. And if you want to change it to Gorilla Man or something, you just go in there.
First name. Heading.
And you can redo your first name.
Manny. Text field. Last name. Celis. Display name.
But the
Heading.
display name is where you want to go.
Manny Celis. Text field.
That's my display name.
Double.
So if I had a nickname instead of my real first name or last name, I could put it in there and I would show up as Gorilla Man or whatever it is I put in there. You know, Cookie Monster, whatever I want. And then when I join my next meeting, that's the name that will show up. Right now, when you guys see me on the meeting, it'll say Manny, if you can see that, or if it's talking to you, it might say my name. But that's how you change your name in the Zoom app to do that. So for those of you who have iPhone, whatever, or whatever it is, you can do that here. And remember, it's the second tab. I think it's called
My
Team.
profile. Display name.
Let me get
Manny
back.
Celis. Team chat. Back team chat.
Team
Manny
Chat.
Celis.
You go to Team Chat, and then that's where you change it. So any questions on that, on the Zoom thing?
App switcher. Zoom. Active. Zoom. App switcher. 5. Closing files. Safari. App closing Safari.
All right.
Audio vault.
Let's see where we're at in time here.
8:08 p.m.
Okay, we got time. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was something that Barbara turned me on to. I was really impressed with what she did. So I don't know if you guys remember this app that we talked about last year. It was called NaviLens, and it had these labels, these weird looking labels that you put on everything, and then you give them a name and all this good stuff. Well, what Barbara did is she's using it to label her medicine, but she went one step further. She put bump dots right on top of the label. And I thought that was a genius move, because instead of turning the thing around looking for the label, you just find the bump dot and just make sure it's in front, and then you point the camera at it. And the camera can be 6 inches away or 6 feet away. It'll still see the label. So I would definitely
8:09
recommend.
p.m. Status bar
I would definitely recommend getting bump dots and doing that for not just Nabulans, but anything. Let's say if you have a slow cooker and you want to dot the low or the high guy. Well, you can put the bump dot there and you can feel where the knob is in relation to the dot and know that the knob is pointing to the dot. And that could be your high setting or your low setting or your warm setting. Usually low or high is that. You can do that on a microwave, put it on a 5, so you know where the 5 is, and then you know that the 1 is up on the upper left, 9 lower right, and so on and so forth. So these bump dots are really important for things like that, and they help you orient things that you need to find quickly. And you can get them everywhere. I think you can get like 300 of them at a time over at Amazon for like $5 or something, $8. But they're really worth it. So I just wanted to mention that. That was a Navi-Lens bump dot thing that I wanted to talk to everybody about. Like, and if you have any questions about that, just let me know. Or if you have any questions now, just ask me, no problem. All right, let me see what else is on the list here. Oh, I got another show and tell. Here we go. So this is kind of off of the iPhone a little bit and more to the computer. Does anybody have any memories on videotape or on some format that you can't watch on your iPhone? And if you do, I got the answer right here. So this thing is called an Elgato video capture. And what it is, it's a little bitty device that turns your VCR signal or your RCA composite, the red, yellow, and white outputs, into a signal that your computer can understand and create a movie file or a audio file, depending on what it is. But it's made for video. So like if you have some old memories on a video cassette and you don't want that video cassette to degrade and then you can't play it anymore, you can capture this onto your computer and watch it on your iPhone or keep it for whoever. And whatever happens to the videotape is no big deal anymore. So these things run, these Elgato video capture devices, they run about $80 over at Amazon. And then you download a program, and then that program helps you capture video, audio files from wherever it can be streamed from. And it'll capture them into files that you can watch at any time. So I use it extensively for my stuff. I've taken some of Patty's memories from her video cassettes, and she put them in her VCR, and then we hooked this Elgato thing to it, and we've captured them to files that she can enjoy forever. They won't ever degrade as long as she has the files. They'll be there to watch. So if anybody has any questions about that here or later, I can answer that and turn you on to it. I'll put the link to this device in the notes when I publish them. So any questions about that? About turning analog old videos into digital? If not, I will move on. Okay. Okay, one thing that Barbara wanted me to go over with you guys is the Reminders app. They've done some restructuring in there a little bit, so I wanted you to know where everything is at. So normally I control my reminders strictly through the S-Lady. You can even set up reminders that are recurring. I did that for my hospital payments. I got about 2 years of hospital payments, and on the 15th of each month, I'm going to get a reminder to send them a check. And the same thing with my ambulance service for my hip. You know, I got about 5 months of that. So I set up recurring reminders there. I wouldn't put that in the calendar because it's not an appointment. It's just something I got to do that day. So, and it's not something that's going to interfere with something else. So I don't need to stick that into the calendar app. So I use reminders for that. So to show the difference or what's going on in reminders, I will open the app up now and go through the front screen real quick for you to show you what's going on.
8:13 p.m.
Okay, there.
Audio.
Siri, open reminders.
Reminders, share list, button.
So if you're not in the front door of reminders, you might have something on top that sounds like this.
Lists, back button.
You want to go back.
Lists, more, button.
So when you're in the front door of the reminders app, there's going to be no back button because that is the first screen. That's the kind of the front door. So on this screen, you don't even have a title called reminders. You just have a search, and then you have classification of reminders. So let's go through it.
More, search field, dictate, button.
Of course, the search allows you to find a reminder by a part of a name. You can put dog in there, and if you got anything with dog in it, it'll show those reminders. That's what the search does. So let's keep going.
Today, 0 reminders.
So obviously, like the name says, those are the reminders for today.
Schedule, 2 reminders, button.
These are two, the scheduled reminders are ones that have a date and time on them. They're not just a reminder, they're actually tied to a date and time.
All, 30 reminders.
That's
button.
everything.
Flag, 0 reminders, button.
You can flag them
Add
differently,
to view list, add.
important and whatnot, and then those can be grouped and you can see those separate from anything else. That's kind of a categorization thing.
Completed, button.
Now
Add
completed,
to view list.
well,
Actions available.
if you open completed, you'll see all the guys that you've ever put in that have been completed. That could be an immense list. So I never go into that.
Siri suggestions, 1 reminder, button.
And this is what Siri thinks you should be reminded of based on your activity and what the phone has gathered about you as far as information. Kind of creepy a little bit. So
My list, heading.
So we finally get to the section that's really cool, which is my list. Now, a list in the reminders app is a group of reminders under one umbrella, under a list, like grocery list, to-do list. Each of these lists has multiple reminders. It's just a grouping of reminders. That's all that is. So if we keep going under my list, about halfway down the screen.
Reminders, 3 reminders, list badge, orange. Double
So
tap to view list.
I must have been
Double
playing
tap
around and I
and
categorize them as orange. I don't know what I did. So anyway, let's keep going.
Grocery, 5 reminders.
So there's grocery lists. I always add stuff to that during the week. So when I go shopping, I have the minimum groceries that I need in my on my phone, and I don't have to remember it. And then the next one.
Zoom class, 10 reminders.
So I got a Zoom class list because what happens is as I read articles during the week, I will throw topics on this list. This is just a list of topics. And then when I get the outline ready, I'll reference this list and pull the topics that I think are relevant for the class. That's what that list is for me. Again, these lists can be anything. They can be people, things, places. It could be anything. And keep going.
Trip prep, 0 reminders.
So trip prep was the last time I went to El Paso. I put in like reminders that, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. You know, got to take a shower, you know, whatever. and I made sure they all got done before I left.
Kevin at Handyman Services.
That's my handyman guy, and I get a list together for him because I forget what he needs to do. And since he can charge me a good amount of money, I got to be sure I got the right things and I'm using his time wisely. So that's a handyman list.
Larry Martin, 2 reminders.
So Larry's still there. He gives me these huge lists, and I put them on here so I can get them done because Larry needs a good amount of information sometimes, and I want to make sure I don't leave him without. And that's why he has his own custom list on here. And
Larry's in trouble
8
always.
reminders. List badge.
what was that, Larry? I'm sorry.
Double tap to
Larry's
view
in
list.
trouble always.
That's right. And then my exercise, that's been my physical therapy. I have 8 different exercises that I do to get my hip back in shape. And physical therapy is a whole lot of fun if anybody's ever been through it. And yeah, I got to do that, or my muscles won't heal up properly. And when you get old like me, you gotta really work on that. So let me see what's next here.
Toolbar, new reminder.
So that's it. And I can create more lists. I can create to-do lists. I can create a list for Barbara, like things, you know. But the phone really helps you in keeping organized that way. And that's kind of the way the front door is laid out. And again, reminders are so simple. There's no reason to really go deeper into it. They're just things that you want to be reminded of, be notified of. And once you been notified, you don't need that anymore. You can just mark them as complete or double tap on them if you're on the screen. Then they go away to the completed reminders folder. All right. Any questions on reminders at all? Okay.
Button.
Let's see what's here. Naming. Oh, so I learned this week from my teacher, Barbara, how to name my timers and on the phone. I would just always say timer, but I forgot you could name these things. You could say like Siri, laundry timer for 5 minutes.
5-minute laundry timer starting now.
Siri, egg timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes starting now.
So I got 2 timers going right now. One's gonna ring in 5 minutes or less, and the other one's gonna ring in 10 minutes. You can have as many as you want. So you can just cancel them.
Pause button.
So you can just cancel them by telling Siri. Siri, cancel laundry timer.
Laundry timer cancel.
Siri,
Uh-huh.
cancel egg timer.
It's canceled.
Okay, and that's how you do it. It's real simple stuff. Nothing hard. But you can give each timer a name. Like if you got multiple timers going and you don't know which one just fired off, it's good to give it a name. And that's what I learned this week. Thank you, Barbara. That was very good information for me. And I believe you can do that with the aid lady too, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see here. Speaking of the aid lady,
Toolbar. New reminder.
when I was at my nurse's house, Patty, we had people over and we started playing games on the aid lady. And if you guys like trivia, you can ask the aid lady to play Trivial Pursuit. And what it does, it says, how many players do you have? And you'll say 2 or 3 or 4. And then you got to remember your number, your player 1, player 2. And what it'll do is it will spit out questions for each category. You have history, science, and all that good stuff. And the first one to fill up all of their categories with correct answers becomes the winner. It's just like the board game used to be way back in the, I guess the 80s now or 90s. And it's done through audio, so anybody can play it. And if you're smart enough, you win. I'm not that smart, so I hardly ever win. But when I do, I really relish in the victory. The other game that's on the A Lady that I learned about was Song Quiz. And I thought that was really cool. Same difference. You got to get the number of players. Then you got to pick the genre of music. So you say, you know, what do you want, like 60s pop or 70s and stuff? You choose a decade, and then it does the same thing. It fires off songs to each player at a time, and that player has to guess the song or the name of the group. And if they do it, they get points, and then the player with the highest points wins. And these are games that everybody can play. You don't need to have sight or anything like that. So that's kind of what I was doing for a little while when we had people over, when I was at Patty's house in recovery last month. And there's some other stuff too. That Patty's amazing. Her house is almost completely automated, including her cooking and everything else. And Patty, did you want to discuss anything about that, or are you okay? How are you feeling?
No, I think information is always great. As you guys know, I got the Kasori oven, the smart oven, a year ago, and I did a couple of recipes, but not really got into it. And lately, I've been baking on it, and I love it now because I don't have to look at I have to get a magnifier to set on my oven, my regular oven and all that. With my Kasori oven, I could just bake. I mean, all the time Manny was there, we were baking a lot of cookies and using the air fryer. and all with the A lady, I just tell her to turn it on and where I want it, what temperature I want it, and what, what to open, either the fryer or the toaster oven or whatever. You just name it. She tells you, she's opening it, and then she's preheating, and then at what temperature, and then it lets you know. You have an app. I have an app on my phone with excellent recipes, by the way, step-by-step recipes on anything that you want to make, from baking to appetizers. And it actually even sends you the grocery list if you want to. It tells you where you could get the stuff.
That's amazing.
It's an awesome little app that comes with it, with the Kasori, and it's all these recipes. I mean, I love cooking anyway, but I look at the recipe and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll do that one, but I won't use this or whatever. But if you need it step by step, it's step by step. It tells you where in the oven, where you're gonna cook it, in the oven or in the toaster oven or in the fryer, the air fryer, and it's all within the same unit. So we did a lot of biscuits and cookies, and I did a cake.
Yeah.
So I use it now for everything when I don't want to heat my, turn on my oven, my regular oven. So, and I think it's awesome because everything is controlled with your voice.
So, Patty, before I forget, what do you tell it? Let's say you wanna cook, I don't know, like biscuits at 400 degrees. I don't know what the right temperature is, so correct me if I'm wrong. 400 degrees for 20 minutes. How would
Yeah.
you tell it that?
So if you just tell her to preheat oven, I call her, a lady, preheat Kasori oven to, no, I just say preheat, Kasori oven. And then she'll tell me, oh, you wanna use this appliance, and then she'll name it, and then she tells you what she's doing it. If it's at the air fryer, and then she'll tell you at what temperature. And then you just tell it right there if you didn't say it in the first thing. And then she just says, okay, preheating your oven, and your oven clicks on, and then you get a message on your phone letting you know that that is preheating. And then when the oven is preheated, you also get a notification on your phone, because you have the app, letting you know to go to the oven, and now you have to push the power on to commence cooking.
Wow.
So,
That's
and
pretty.
then it lets you know when if you put a timer, if you put you have to put a timer, and you have to put the temperature, and then it lets you know when your food is ready. When it thinks your food is ready, and most of the time when I go there, my biscuits were ready. I just said I didn't have a recipe, so I just put them in for 8 to 10 minutes, and 8 minutes, and then it would, I guess, figure out the weight or some. I have no idea how, but it would just tell me your food is ready. And then I go to the Kasori and I look, and the biscuits are pretty much done. And it's incredible because I didn't, it wasn't before the time. I don't know. That's the only part that I don't know. Remember, we were laughing about it because I'm like, how do you know when it's done? I didn't even know.
So
But
I think what Patty's saying is that the Kasori oven works pretty good. If you guys are having trouble setting your ovens,
mhm.
I know I do. I've got bump dots, and I can barely do it with the bump dots. And I got to use my vision to press in, 400 or 350 or whatever. With this thing, you can control it completely with your voice, and it works really good. I was surprised. So wanted to mention that in case anybody is having trouble with their ovens if they're cooking, anything. So
Yep.
yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Pat. That's really nice. So,
Hmm?
any questions on Trivial Pursuit or Song Quiz or Kasori Oven or anything of that nature?
No questions on that. What we did this week that I had forgot is how to update your email.
Email.
Right. To get the very, like when you sent me the email, it wasn't updated. You had to touch the status bar and then take 3 fingers down.
Oh, you mean to refresh the email list? Is
Right.
that what you mean? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think you touch the status bar with 1 finger and then the other hand does the 3 fingers down.
No, what I did for email refreshing and most lists that allow refreshing, you get to the very first guy in the list. Let's say it's my email to you about,
Right.
I don't know, whatever. So you put your finger on there and you put voiceover's focus on that email item, the very first one. And then you swipe down with 3 fingers and it knows that you want to go query whatever it is it's looking at to get the latest list items down, if there's new email in this case or whatever it is. So that's what it does.
Okay,
for-
okay, so that I had forgotten. And then also to get to your control center, you touch the status bar and do 3 fingers up. And then if you want to get the notification, it's 3 fingers down.
That's correct. So from the status bar, you put your finger on there, whatever it
And
is.
that's the very top is your status bar.
Very top. It's always there. You know, it's rare that it's ever not visible. So you put your finger up there and you might hear the time or the battery level or Wi-Fi or whatever. Then you know you're in the status area. And then you can do those gestures from the status area to get to those things, you know. So if there's no more questions on the other, how are we doing on time before I launch into the next thing here?
8:31 p.m.
Do we have time for one more, Barbara?
We're at 8:30.
Okay, well, I can save the rest of these for next time. That's no problem.
I think-
I can hang out for a little while longer before I shut it down. It's up to you.
Up to Barbara. What do you think, Barbara?
We can do another 5 minutes.
Okay, what I wanted to touch before I go, and thank you, John, by the way. I wanted to just talk to you guys about clearing notifications on your lock screen. Barbara and I talked about that this week, and I think it's important to include in the class tonight. So notifications come in all flavors and sizes. They're not just all notifications. There are some notifications that are designed to go away as soon as you open your phone. So when you get to the lock screen of your phone, which is the screen that has the time and day, you may or may not have a bunch of notifications under there, and there would be something like missed call or text from John or whatever it is. Or, you know, if you have something on your calendar that's coming up, whatever it is, you can have a bunch of notifications on your screen. Now, normally when you go into your phone by swiping up and logging into your home screen, a lot of them go away. But some of them kind of persist for one reason or another. If you want to use the shotgun method to clear them, I'm going to show you how right now. So I'm going to open my phone up to the lock screen only and show you where you need to go to do this. So I'm going to touch my screen.
8:32 p.m.
Oh, there's a time. It's going to have the date above it.
Tuesday, January 9, 8:32 p.m.
And then the button that you want to find is this one. Here we go.
Show notifications button.
Show notifications button. It's not even visible on the screen, which is crazy. But you got to swipe to it and then you got to double tap. Oops, wait a minute. Let me try that.
8:33 p.m. Show notifications. Show notification center.
And then you're going to get a big list of your notifications. That's another way to bring up the notification center, by the way, right on the lock screen. And then all you got to do is find the clear button.
Clear notification center
So
button.
if you double tap on that, all your notifications will be cleared out and then you won't have any more. So I just wanted to go over that. And again, like Barbara said, you can do that from the status bar. Once you're in the phone, you can do it there too. And then you can bring up the notification center. So that's basically what I had tonight. And I just wanted to hopefully get everybody at least a little bit of information that they might be needing. So
Do you want to show them the task switcher and how you can move your finger that you don't have to shut everything down?
Task switcher?
Huh?
Yeah.
8:33 p.m. Face
I just double tap on the home
Reminders.
button and then it gives me open apps, if that's what you're talking.
Yeah.
magnifier.
So if you don't have a home
Yellow
button,
tap to open.
you have to swipe up from the bottom of your screen. Now you hit the home button, people. All you guys do is you push your home button twice in a row, like a double tap on your home button, and that will bring up the app switcher. For the non-home button guys that have these iPhones, you have to swipe up until you feel 2 haptic feedbacks. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I'm going to try it here. Oops, I'm waiting.
Home. Calendar. Choose.
Maybe it's 3.
App switcher.
There it
Reminders.
is.
App.
So here they go. Doop, doop, doop. When it does that, that means it brings it to the app switcher, and here I am.
Reminders. Active.
So I swipe
Swipe
up
up with 3 fingers.
just like you would on the other phones. You just close them out one by
Closing
one.
reminders. Tap.
And that's the only one I had open. So yeah, that's the way you do it on these other phones.
But let's say you wanted to leave your mail open. Let's say you had two of them open.
Okay, let's do that. I'm going to open a few apps and get in there. So Siri.
And you can close some, but by using your finger, you can leave also some out up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me try that. Let me open up 3 apps and then leave one of them open or whatever. Okay. Siri. Open mail.
Regarding. Page facing up.
Siri.
Uh-huh.
Open messages.
Messages. Kevin at Handyman Services.
Siri.
Uh-huh.
Open Safari. Okay.
Safari. Text field. Is editing. Character mode.
So I have 3 apps open. Okay. Now I want to go to the app switcher. And let's say I want to close everything except mail. I want to leave mail open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invoke the app switcher, double tap on the home button, or 3 haptic feedback things here. So
App switcher. Safari. Active.
so I want to
Swipe
close.
up with 3 fingers to close the
Oops, hang on a second.
Safari. Down.
I'm sorry.
App switcher. Safari. Active.
Okay.
Swipe up with 3 fingers to Safari. Active.
So if I want to go to another app and not close this one, I swipe to the right or left.
Messages. Active.
It's a single finger
Swipe up with
swipe,
3
right?
fingers to
I'm sorry.
Single
Yeah.
finger swipe, yeah.
Yes, it is, John.
messages.
Well,
Active.
for me, it takes 3. I don't know
Oh,
if it's easier for you guys, but me, I have to do 3, going left or right. I don't know.
You can do it
Close
with a
messages.
single finger. It works fine.
I'm trying.
Safari.
flick a
Messages.
finger.
Current.
That's not working for me.
Oh,
what
it's
phone do you
not
have? That I'm
working?
interested.
I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Hmm.
Oh.
Now it might work on the home button phones. I've never tried that. I'll put a pin in that and try that. But for me, I have to do the
Yeah, I'll
3
try for the
finger.
heck of it. Hang on, I don't know what I got open.
Can you do it with one finger, John?
Yeah, I'm just single fingering it.
Let's see. I'll try it again.
Messages. Current mail. Current messages. Current mail. Current action.
Oh, it's working now. I'm sorry. You're right. I apologize.
Yeah, you just need a single finger, don't do 3.
You know what
When
happens?
one will
I
do
didn't
it.
wait for it. I didn't wait for it to say anything, and they were both black screens.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what happened. So you're right.
Messages.
yeah,
Mail.
single
you go.
finger will do it.
So yes, you can do it with 3 fingers, or even better yet, you can do it with 1 finger, which is very uncommon on the iPhone. I didn't know that. So and then when you want to close them, I don't. Can you do 1 finger swipe up?
No,
to
you
close?
just do the 3 fingers up.
3 fingers up. Okay, so that's still 3. Okay. So let's say I want to leave
Now you
one
got
of them
me
open.
thinking, because I do this so routinely, I can't, you know.
Well, I'm glad you guys
Form
corrected me.
active. Yeah, 1 finger does it.
Mail.
Let's see.
Activate.
Facebook.
Default. Close mail. Activate. Close mail.
Yeah,
Activate.
1 finger
Close
all the
mail.
way.
Okay. Well, I learned something new tonight. Then I'll have to use all these fingers all the time. So thank you, John, Barbara.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think that's all I got.
I think
So-
we're done. Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
thank you,
stop the
Manny.
recording, boys and girls.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, John.
Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
John, thank you.